How's it going, guys? It's AJ here from Team Jamaicanscotchmafia, and I'm here today with a little present for you guys. It's actually the Aqua TD. Yeah, I already got one and already tried to make a deck out of it, and I mostly proxied almost everything, even though some of the cards were not released. However, the TD is actually a really decent deck. You can actually play this deck in a tournament and actually go pretty far with it. I did well in today's tournament. I went second with Majesty Lord Blaster, and it's just the final game with the Gold Paladins just really thrashed me. But everything else I won 5-0, and the last match was just a 5-1. So I got this as a prize that instead of packs, because the TD is really cool and I needed more naval gazers. So and here's Aqua TD. Now, basically what Aqua Force is mainly about is trying to stand your units and allow that to gain extra abilities such as a power boost or yeah. So first off, we got the Limit Breaker Naval Dragon, which is a 10k standard and a limit break. His limit break is quite interesting. It's Counterblast 2 and it gains 3k and also gains an additional ability saying that if the attack hits the Vanguard on the third battle, you can stand 2 of your rear guards. And also at the second part of his effect, it also says that if it's the third battle, it gains additional 3k. So on itself, it's 16 hitter, which is pretty good. And then if the attack goes through, you stand 2 of your units, which is also pretty cool. Second, we got 2 of these guys. I believe it's 2. Yeah, it's 2. Basically, he's the substitute Vanguard for the deck. When you play him on the Vanguard circle, if it's the third battle, it gains a 3k, or on the rear guard, if it's the third battle, it gains an additional 1k. So basically, he becomes a 13 hitter on Vanguard and 11k hitter on rear guard if it's the third battle. See how these Aqua Forces, you have to have a specific order of an order of attacks to make the deck work. Now here comes the Bourse of the deck. I think you come with 4. Basically, the standard Counterblast 1, it gains 3k for the battle. It's very standard, not really. You can replace these with more naval gazers, and you don't really need to use him as much. Also, the deck's great because the deck doesn't counterblast, except for only a very few cards. So this is pretty cool. That's why you can just, if your opponent has the 11k Vanguard, you just use him, Counterblast 1, it gains 13. You can use them, you don't have to use them, it's up to you. You also get the 4 standard 10Ks. Just very standard 10Ks, vanilla, so it's alright. You get the 1 Argos. That's what really I hated about it, because usually TD cards are very hard to get. And if the TD only gets 1 Argos, it's going to be very hard to find other people who have spare Argos. Basically what he does is, if it's the 4th battle of your turn, and the attack hits the Vanguard, you're able to draw 1, free of cost. That is superb for this deck. I mean, if this thing hits, it creates pressure to your opponent. They either have to neg 1 from their hand, or you +1. So this card's pretty decent. Next up, you get 2 Coral Assaults. This is on the 3rd battle of your turn. It gains additional 3k, so it becomes 11. I love this card. Just look at his art. He's on a jet ski with a minigun on his back. That's just so cool. I love this card to death. And plus, it just comes off well with his stand triggers within it. Next up, you got the, I think, 4 of the 10k Interceptors. Very standard again. Just it's a TD card, so they just need to fill in spots. So why not give them the 10k Interceptor? Next up, you get the grade 1 8k base vanilla, standard 8k. Also, he's not posing, by the way. If you look at his right foot, he's actually being pushed back, which the art looks amazing for. You also get the 7k and Counterblast 1. It becomes it gains additional k for each Counterblast. This card can also be used for the Aqua Force because most of the deck does not Counterblast. And plus he's just a 7k, which gives you another option for a booster. Next up, you get the 2 bad Pegasus. Yeah, you heard me. 2 bad Pegasus. I'm going to take these guys out. They're not really useful. They usually, if it gets to the rear guard or on the back, I think it's just rear guard, you give another rear guard 2k plus. Not really all that great. We also got the jet ski. I believe if this thing is on the front row, and if it attacks, it gains additional 3k if it's on the 3rd battle of the turn. So basically like on Coral Assault, but this one's just a grade 1 version of it. Next up, we got 2 of the Sirens. Basically, it's the ammo of the deck. If the attack hits, you may ditch a card from your hand to the grave and draw one. Pretty cool. Gets rid of all those dead cards in your hand. Next up, we get to these chicks. Basically, if it's boosted on the Vanguard after the 3rd battle, I believe, it gains additional 4k. So because this thing becomes a 10k supporter, which is really, really decent for Naval Gazer. So and then when it goes, its liver break, it goes to 26, which is really cool. And then you get your standard Vanguard, 6k. Once you ride over it, give you a +1 soul, so it's alright. Next you get the trigger system, which is always the basic triggers for TDs. So you got the 4 crit triggers, which the art on these guys looks so cool. You get the 4 draw triggers, which is the otters, which is also pretty decent. And they also look so cute. Look at that baby otter. Now this guy is my favorite card of the deck. It's the Strand trigger, but he's also a dolphin with jetpacks. Now that's just cool. You cannot argue with a dolphin with jetpacks. And of course, 4 of the heals, which also look very nice. Now that's the TD for Naval Gazer. Comment down below, what do you think about the deck? Do you think the deck will be really, really broken this format? Or maybe next format, or maybe the format after? You think the cards will be really good, as in it'll deplete your opponent's hand size? Well, that's up to you to tell me, or us, or everyone around this channel. Alright guys, it's AJ from Team Jamaicanscotchmafia, signing out. See you guys later. Bye.